Hello everyone, this is the Commonwealth Realm with a brand new State of the Realm discussion special. In this 3-part discussion, we will go through all of the 7 press conferences scheduled for the next couple of days at the Los Angeles Convention Center. With me, I have gotten some real great guests. The E3 Insider and the King of Hype, HMK, M.Productions, GameoverJesse and Zeltik. To begin with, I thought we could talk about the third-party developers, mainly speaking Bethesda, Ubisoft and EA. So guys, what are your thoughts about the reveal of Fallout 4?
Well, I do want to explain one neat thing that I have explained in a previous video that me and 1010 Man have dished out. We believe that Fallout 4 is a prequel to all the other Fallout games, Fallout 1, Fallout 2, and Fallout 3. And the main reason why we say this is because what we've seen in the particular trailer. We see a transition between pre-war and post-war environments. And then you also see in the beginning of the trailer, the father overlooks their child. The father does look remarkably similar to the Vault Dweller you see at the end of the trailer. And there's also several evidence points that you could link between those two. Months ago, there was a casting call leak that was dished out in the internet. And in this casting call document, it says that the player actually plays as the father and he looks after his infant son. So my particular theory is that in the beginning of the game, you play as the player's father, in a sense that he sacrifices himself to save his child to go into a vault while he dies in a nuclear fire. And there's also another point you could point out in the particular trailer. If that's the case, then really the Wasteland hasn't been too old. Like the Great War in the Fallout universe started in 2077. Let's say the man is around 20 years old. That would put it around the late 2090s. So, and it would explain why the landmarks in the Boston Commonwealth area is so well preserved. If you notice in the trailer, it's not really too rotting in a sense. There's still noticeable landmarks. It's not like in the case of Fallout 3 where everything is pretty much just ruined and decaying. There is still some preserved quality in Fallout 4's environment, which would also add in towards a sense, towards that argument. And one thing, people want to say that the Brotherhood of Steel are coming back. I'm not so sure they are the Brotherhood of Steel. And Fallout games, you can see the Brotherhood of Steel emblem, you know, like the cogs, the sword, and the wings. The emblem, the symbol of the Brotherhood of Steel, is always seen portrayed somewhere on the armor of the Brotherhood of Steel, the power armor, which would be the T-45Ds or the T-51B power armor sets. You don't see that emblem anywhere throughout any of their power armor sets, which is strange because you typically always see that in Fallout 3 and even in Fallout New Vegas. So you don't see that emblem anywhere.
A lot of people want me to see what kind of information to give from Fallout, and I'm not saying that I'm not a fan. I'm not particularly interested in Fallout or any type of other WRPGs, but Bethesda has that, you know, it has that iconic presence that you cannot deny when it comes to their games. So I definitely want to see what they have in store. I'm definitely going to be peeking into Bethesda, see what they have, and, you know, get what kind of information I can for the people who are interested in things like Fallout. So I'm definitely going to be there, yeah.
Fallout 4 is probably one of the most anticipated games. Definitely, it doesn't depend. It doesn't matter whether it will be released this year or next year, but Bethesda has a tradition to announce their games in the same year that they release them. A main example being then Skyrim in 2011, when we got the first trailer, and then the release just 4 or 5 months after the reveal trailer. So what do you think will be the case in this instance, Andy?
Well, first thing, I am glad that Bethesda has revealed that the Fallout 4 will only be a current gen system. They're not going to port games to the 360 or the PS3 or like last gen systems, which I'm glad they done so. Right now we're in a transition, but in the sense that I do find it likely that Fallout 4 could be released this year, but I would not fault Bethesda if they decided to delay it, since Fallout 4, that's in terms of lore, the game engine, and so forth, that's a whole lot of work right there. And it's a labor of love from what I've seen and what I understand from the lore and everything. And I'm also finding it kind of surprising that a lot of fans are complaining about the graphics. If anything, I thought fans would complain about Ron Perlman not reprising his role as the announcer of like War Never Changes. Instead, it's a new announcer, or the player at least, or the father, which I kind of find that kind of surprising. And the thing is, ever since we had the advent of mods, for example, Fallout 3 in New Vegas has a massive modding community in terms of graphics mods that can make the game much more beautiful, or weapon mods, and so on and so forth.
I'm thrilled for the new Fallout game, since I know how much freedom you get in the Fallout games, especially in Fallout 3. Everything you saw, basically, you could either loot, take, interact with. With this game set in Boston, it will be really interesting to see what kind of type of gameplay and story we will have ahead of us, since the Fallout games are all about the post-apocalyptic world after the nuclear detonations, and I think we'll see a lot of gameplay, a lot of new trailers from Fallout 4. But there is a question, since one game is of course a reason to have a conference. But remember, Bethesda has never had a E3 conference before. So could we see a sneak peek into the next Elder Scrolls game?
I think it's too soon.
I think that if we do see it, it'll be a title for them to be releasing next year. So it may just be a teaser trailer or something like that. Because I don't think they would release their two biggest franchises so close together and have each other sort of compete against themselves. So if anything comes from Elder Scrolls, I think it'll be a new edition or something concerning Elder Scrolls Online.
Ubisoft. They have a lot to prove this year after the preposterous year last year.
I think they're really going to have to kind of prove themselves again, because with the release of Assassin's Creed Unity, they promoted it so heavily, but it's as if the game didn't get any kind of QAing. And the cutscenes that we talked about, and I'm sure a lot of other people on the PC version, some of the faces didn't even show up. And aside from that, the game was just really buggy, and I think it's due to them sort of focusing on two separate Assassin's Creed games coming out at the same time, as opposed to just putting all of their thoughts and talent onto one game. And I think they've learned from their mistakes, and the next Assassin's Creed game will be a lot better. And aside from that, I think Watch Dogs 2 will get some sort of announcement.
I can say if the game is not totally broken, just as it was, then I can't wait to explore the streets of London, climbing in Big Ben, Buckingham Palace. I think this the Assassin's Creed Syndicate game could be a birth for the Assassin's Creed series, but we'll have to see. And wait, the only question is the Division, which game will be delayed already to 2016, so we'll see some gameplay footage, probably a playable demo for you, HMK and the other attendees, and then we might see some more about Tom Clancy's Rainbow Siege. What do you think, HMK, since you will be there?
For Ubisoft, like you guys said, they have a lot to prove. However, Assassin's Creed Syndicate does look really good. I'm really, really excited for the game. I really want to see what they're going to pull. I want to know if they're going to, talk about how much they fucked up last year. Is like, yeah, we are aiming to recapture our consumers' trust. This year is going to be a great year for Ubisoft. We're going to bring you the best expertise in products. We've done a whole corporate restructuring, yada yada yada. I wonder if they're going to do that. If they do that, my hat's off to them, because that shows that they acknowledge their fucked ups. They acknowledge their mistakes, right? At the same time, it's not only acknowledging it, I want to know what they're going to do to rectify it. They already kind of alluded to that with Assassin's Creed Syndicate. They're like, oh yeah, this game is going to be the best Assassin's Creed experience. We're going to make the map 5 times bigger than France was in Assassin's Creed Unity. We're going to plan to do a lot of stuff. And Ubisoft, thanks to their hostess, I forgot her name, they're always fun conferences to watch because she's so exhilarating, she's so out there, she's really down to earth. Their conferences are always enjoyable to watch, but at the same time, it's the content they're gonna showcase that really makes up their conference. And I'm really excited to see what they have in store, because I've always liked Ubisoft as a company, but that big fuck up last year was a serious blow, but I feel that they do have what it takes to, pick themselves back up.
I'm anticipating next being announced is, of course, the sequel to Watch Dogs, since I think we could see another Assassin's Creed case here, where the first game was underdeveloped, a little bit rushed, and not fully taking care of its potential. But I think that Watch Dogs 2, set in the right city and with the right mechanics, could become a rather unique and interesting IP from Ubisoft. They just need to find the right element for the game and polish it to the standard it deserves, the modern day type of hacking. I don't know what I should call this franchise, because it's a mixture of GTA and Assassin's Creed, to be honest. Let's hope there won't be that controversial downgrades this time for Watch Dogs. Over to another third-party developer that definitely will not be supporting the Wii U, EA. And I don't want to talk about what they have in plans apart from 2 games, Star Wars Battlefront and Mirror's Edge 2. So what do you guys think about Star Wars Battlefront? It's the big Star Wars year we are in.
I'm curious to see actual gameplay. I know a few select reviewers and video game journalists were able to sort of... I don't think they got to play the game, but they got to see an 8-minute gameplay demo, and they, from what I can tell, most of them said the game looks really good, but not as good as the official trailer that they released. Which that could have just been, they also mentioned that it was demoed on a PlayStation 4, so the PC specs for it could be even better than the PlayStation 4, so that could be a reason why it didn't look as good as what they showed off, but at the same time what they showed off is just a CG trailer.
What do you think about Star Wars Battlefront, HMK?
From what I hear from the game, from what we've, not what we've seen, but what we hear, you know, how the game is going to run, the matchups, how the game is going to play, I am not looking forward to Battlefront at all. And the people, honestly, who's going to buy it is going to buy it solely because of the Battlefront, the name, the hype behind the name. You know, if you look down into it, it's not Battlefront. They literally took 2 steps back from the Battlefront franchise and tried to make it into some sort of Battlefield, Call of Duty type crap. And I'm not looking forward to the game at all. Unless they decide to do some sort of severe redevelopment of the game, I am not looking forward to it.
Okay, so let's say that Battlefront is rather divisive. They will have to prove themselves. DICE is a renowned company. They have delivered great titles in the past, and the Stockholm studio is known for putting their soul and effort into this game. But we know EA is known for rushing their games and releasing chunks of the game as DLC, and I'm afraid it will be the same case with Battlefront. The second game, which a lot of people have been waiting for, is the sequel to Mirror's Edge 2. Do you think it will be released this year?
Possibly.
I think we'll see a trailer. I don't think it'll be released this year. I think it'll be more of a February game, because this holiday season, I think, will be filled with a lot of other games that are going to sell a lot better, and EA, even if the game's finished, I think they'll hold on to it for a few more months and then release it with the approach that the developers and publisher behind the game Dying Light did. They held on to the game and then released it in February, and it sold a lot more than it would have if it would have released during the holiday season.
The anticipation for Mirror's Edge is humongous. We remember how beautiful the first Mirror's Edge looked compared to the consoles it was launched on. It was just a stunningly beautiful game for its simplicity. You didn't have that many colors, but all the textures were so sharp. And I hope that Mirror's Edge will give that same style of totalitarian, unitary type of art style. So Mirror's Edge is a lot about the experience and the parkour feeling, and the art style and the graphics are really important elements of that experience. So we will have to see what EA will have in store for us there. Apart from obviously those 2 titles that are anticipated, we will definitely see a new Battlefield game, as we do each year. And EA will probably have something else in store for us. We'll have to see and wait and see.
Yeah, with another game, Need for Speed, they actually didn't release one last year, and they held it off this year, and they're supposed to be rebooting the franchise. But
always online. Oh my god. EA as a publisher must seriously get their things together and become a publisher again that do not only sell DLCs or pull in bullshit such as always online.
This basically concludes the first part of the discussion. For the next part of Nintendo's E3 presentation and Square-Enix presentation, click here or wait until I get the video up. I'm heading right off to work with that video now. Wait a couple of hours and the video should be up with the same high quality of editing and, of course, discussion.